Hi everyone, Victoria Jennings here. This is Taking Care of Business, proudly brought to you by Entrepreneurs Building Success. Um, I'm always on about how to build success and how to build a business that actually, creates wealth for you. It's one thing to have a business that's replaced your job income. It's another thing to have a business that actually builds a legacy for you and your family. So I'm very passionate about the latter. And so today is all about um, why hustle isn't a strategy, and we want to build a business that runs without you in it. So why do we want to do that? Well, hustle it just means you're busy, 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 and a lot of entrepreneurs that I speak with are just busy doing things that they really should not be even attempting to do. We want to stay in our natural talents and strengths as much as possible because that's where our biggest bang for our buck comes from in our business. That's the place where we are, really in flow. We're really in alignment with the business. We enjoy it. It lights up our soul. Um, we feel good when we're doing it. We don't procrastinate over it. We don't have to think about it. And we're great at doing it. It's where our essence lies. And we really do, as business owners, owe it to ourselves to build the business so that we can just focus on that area that brings us so much joy, so much happiness, so much passion, brings our passion out. And it ignites us every day. And we want to turn up for business. But we don't want to be in the business and having to be, you know, if we don't show up, the money doesn't show up either. We don't want to be put in that situation. Now, every business starts there. Don't get me wrong. Everyone has to start at that point because unless you've got a lot of capital behind you or a partner behind you with a lot of money, you can't just go willy-nilly, engaging a team straight away. If you're building the business and bootstrapping the business, which means you're building it as you go and using the funds that you're receiving from your business to do that, then there obviously is a point in time where you are juggling everything and doing everything. But if you've planned it and you've put strategies in place so that you know that is only for a finite period of time, and then your business is going to show you and identify, you're going to have clear roadmaps along the way, clear indicators along the way that are going to show you, okay, now I can recruit someone to do this or outsource someone to do that, and the business can support it and everything will be okay. And that will get me more and more and more in alignment with who I am and the gifts that I have to bring in the business and the things that make my heart sing. All right. That's where the sweet spot is. But if you haven't planned your business to do that, then you could get stuck in that cycle, of juggling everything and doing everything yourself, making mistakes, procrastinating over things, dropping things unintentionally, but things slide through the cracks, and you've got customers who are then not happy, or whatever that um, consequence might be. If that's happening to you for years and years and years, and you're stuck in that place and you don't know how to get out of that place, you need a strategy, you need a plan of how to get out of that place. And I guess that's what I'm really passionate about. That's what my programs are all about, is how we use the business as a vehicle to creating wealth and not just giving us a job. Okay. And it's great to be your own boss, and kudos to those who have done that. It's a really big step, and 95% of the population will never do it. Right? So you're already ahead of most people if you've created a business and it's given you your own job and you're your own boss. Well done. Because like I said, 95% don't ever do that. But now let's become one of the 1% where you actually build your business so that it creates a legacy for you and your family, so that you don't have to be in it, so you have time freedom and and all of the opportunities that that brings along with it that you can actually jump on. Okay, so the difference between hustle and strategy is that one of them gives you a job, as I just said, and often you'll be burnt out because you'll be doing things that are not natural to you. Okay, and the other actually builds wealth for you, gives you the ability to buy assets, gives you the ability to maybe buy another business or start another business. It gives you options, and that's what being an owner of a business is all about, is to have options, is to be able to decide whether you want to be the center of your business. And if you want to be the center of your business and you love that because you love being around the people and that and everything is great, but you can step out of it for 3 months to go on a world cruise if that's what you really want to do, awesome. Keep doing that. That's brilliant. Okay, because that's what you love. But if you're someone who doesn't want to be tied to the everyday, and you want to be able to step out and you want to look at other opportunities, and you you just don't, you want more time freedom for whatever reason, whether you want to travel or whether, lots of people travel, but they have to take the laptop with them. When I travel, I don't have to take my laptop with me. That's the difference. I'm not checking emails. I'm not checking on everything every day because I have a team that looks after all that. Okay. So that's the freedom I'm talking about. And you don't get it from hustle. Being busy doesn't necessarily mean you're moving the needle. Okay. Focus on the things that move the needle in your business. Focus on the things that make a difference with the revenue coming in. Focus on the things that make a difference with the automation you can do. Focus on those things because they're the things that bring you wealth. They're the things that get you out of your business, should you choose to. And you can choose not to. But if life comes along and slaps you with an illness, your income is still going to come in. It's not going to affect it at all. Okay? That's true freedom. And I'm not talking about passive income. There's no such thing as passive income. You've got to do the work up front to get it all in place. Then you've got to maintain it. Somehow you've got to maintain it. There's no such thing as completely passive. Even if you're playing on the stock market, you've got to make decisions about when to buy and when to sell. There's no such thing as completely hands off. You're either doing it yourself, making decisions yourself, or you've got a team doing it for you and making those decisions for you. All right? Perhaps in consultation, perhaps once a week, but you're not doing that every day. Okay. So there is a glorification some people feel, especially depending on the profile that you might be. You really feel great if you're doing a lot of stuff, right? Because you love getting things done. And it gives you a false sense of, well, I'm okay in my business because I love to get things done. But what are the things that you're getting done do? If you know what I mean, right? And the hustle can get you started, but it's not going to be sustainable. You're going to burn out eventually, right? You need time. I mean, I remember when I first started my trade and business college, I was working harder than I ever was working for someone else. And there were days when I thought, oh, it's so much easier to work for someone else. I just think I'll do that again. I had those days in the beginning because it was really hard work to get everything in place so that I could bring on my team and start building my team. Okay, so I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. It does happen. But I had no intentions of letting it stay there, where I was working like crazy hours all weekend, 7 days a week, getting things done. So my phone wasn't ringing or I wasn't making phone calls, Monday to Friday. Then I had a whole bank of development work that I couldn't get done, so I would do it all weekend. I'm sure lots of you can relate to that. And that's okay in the beginning. But you've got to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? And that eventually it won't be this way. So if any of you are feeling this way, you're in the right place. Okay? So hustle's about being the engine and strategy's about building the machine. That's the difference. Hustle's the engine, working hard. Strategy is making sure we can share the load. All right? And a lot of people are missing strategy in their business. A lot of entrepreneurs focus, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, they focus on sales, they focus on marketing, because that's where they believe, and it's true. It is a crucial part, but they don't have a plan. They don't have a strategy of how they're going to, where they're going to be in 6 months' time, in 8 months' time, in 12 months' time, in 5 years' time. They don't have a clue because they haven't bothered to take the time to work it out. So they will be forever stuck on that middle, roundabout, going round and round and round and round and round and round and never getting off it. And that breaks my heart. I don't want people to have to work that hard. Okay, so I remember when I built my team. I built my team fairly early in my business, my complete team. I used to be in my office having nothing to do, because I made sure I had no role to perform, right? And I'd have nothing to do and I'd feel really guilty. But if I didn't show up to work and be there with the team, setting the example, blah, 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 being first in, being last out, yada, yada, yada. We've heard all about this before, right? If I didn't do that, I felt so guilty if I didn't do that. And I would literally just be surfing the net and, not really making much use of that time freedom at all. And I did that for a couple of years. I had to give myself permission to not turn up to the physical office every day. I started with 1 day a week. I wouldn't go in on Fridays. Woohoo! And that's what I had to do because I felt so guilty about not doing the hustle. I didn't have to hustle anymore. I didn't have anything that I had to do. I did some strategic meetings back then, right? I had some meetings with big companies back then. I was the one that would show up, and my general manager, I had a general manager in those days, would come along with me, but I would run the meeting and they would be learning, right? So I would turn up for that, but honestly, apart from that, I had nothing else that I was responsible for. It was great, but I didn't know how to deal with it. I know how to deal with it now. I don't have to turn up. And I give myself permission not to. They don't need me. In fact, I get in the way. I get in the way of my team. They'd be the first to tell you that. Because I come up with another idea and another idea and another idea. Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's change that. I drive everyone mad. My ideas. Every day I would have new ideas that I want to implement, especially when you've got a team, because you don't have to do the grunt work. So my ideas went on steroids for quite a while and was out of control because I had this team that would get it done for me. I had to learn how to manage that as well. But, it's nice to have that option. We want the option. We want choices to do what we want to do and focus on what we want to focus on. So I guess that's a bit of a weird place to be in, but it was actually something that I had to deal with. And I would love you guys to have to deal with that too. I would love you to have that issue. But I can help you work through that. And tell you what, you'll give yourself permission to do it a lot earlier than I did. A lot faster than I did. Okay? So there's a couple of shifts that we need to do to get from hustle to strategy. And so we've got to get from the doing of things to the designing of things, the overseeing of things. Okay? Stop being the technician in the business and start becoming the architect. So a great book to read if you want to know more about this is by a person named Michael Gerber, Gerber. And it's called, he wrote a couple of books, but he wrote The E-Myth, and he also wrote The E-Myth Revisited. And it's all about that. It's all about moving from technician, moving to manager, and then moving out. Okay, and it was a very instrumental book in my journey. It's one of the things that helped me get to where I am today. Books are fantastic. You know, there are so many mentors around. YouTube is full of wonderful things. But a lot of you, I know, a lot of entrepreneurs don't bother to do self-development. What's that about? You think you're perfect because you've got your business that's actually a full-time job. You've got nothing more to learn. I'm still learning. I still have mentors. Right? I need 8-figure mentors. You always want to have a mentor who's at least one step above where you're at the moment. Who's done it, by the way. Not someone who's written a course using AI. Someone who can actually give you sound advice. And then there's a plethora of consultants and coaches out there right now. And I know it's difficult to work out who the genuine ones are, who've done what they say they're doing, done what they're teaching, okay, and those who haven't. And I keep saying it because it's going to be a big problem in the marketplace. It's already started to be a big problem. Okay, but it's all about, like, what's going to happen to your business if you still have to step away from it for 2 weeks? What if you had to go in for an operation? You're going to be in hospital for a week and then recovery for 2 or 3 after that. What would your business do? Would your business be okay? Then terrific. Or would your business stop making money? I really want you to look at it. You know, are you the only person who knows how to deliver what you sell? And you're not using any systems to help you so that it can chug along without you in it? So we need to go from busyness to operational clarity, and how you put these steps in place to be able to step out. And we do start, like I started that way. I started by letting myself have a 1-week holiday. And then I had a 2-week holiday. Then I had a 3-week holiday. All right. And when you get to a 4-week holiday and you don't need to be in it, that's the sweet spot. That's the indicator that everything is okay without you in it. And then you can do whatever you want to do. Okay. 3 months is also another one. If you could take long service leave, because most people only take long service leave when they're working for someone else. But a business owner can take long service leave too, or should be able to. Okay. All right. So look at where you're spending the most time right now, and does it match the biggest growth need of your business? And is it in alignment with who you are and your passions and your talents, or not? Are you stuck in the procrastination and reactivity phase of your business? Wherever you procrastinate, you need to delegate or outsource. I keep saying that, but it's so true. Because if you're procrastinating, it's not your natural talent and strength. End of story. You should not be doing it if you procrastinate over doing it. Okay. So I've got a little thing called the Roadmap to Millions checklist. And it's a shorthand version of what I teach in the Roadmap to Millions bootcamp. And it literally has everything that you need to put in place. The difference between the two, the checklist, you have to do all the research yourself and put it all in place on your own without any tips, tricks, or templates or advice. Okay? But you could do it. You can follow that template and you could put it in place. Or you can come and join Roadmap to Billions Bootcamp and we put it in place together. And there are templates and there are tips and there are tricks and there is advice and there are one-on-one sessions with me. And that won't be happening forever because I will build this business as something I can step out of as well eventually. All right. And one of the ways I'm doing that is I'm passing this knowledge on to other business coaches. Okay, so that they can use these tools with their clients. That's coming up. But everyone's got to do the boot camp first because you have to put it in your own business before you can teach it to someone else. Okay, and so that's happening. That's coming. Also, the profiling tool will be white labeled for other coaches. You'll be able to use it as a lead generation tool for yourself. Okay, so this is coming, but the boot camp is the first step to all of that. So if you want to know more about that, just ask to have a meeting with me and we'll make it happen. Okay. From control to confidence. Okay, so the business should be a machine powered by teams and systems, not your constant input. So what tasks are you doing that drain you? Get rid of them. Are you holding on because you believe no one else will do it right? Okay, so you're a perfectionist and you can't let go. If you can't let go, you're always going to need to be in it. You have to build a team and train a team so well that you trust them 100% to get it done. Your systems and processes, your operational manual is all going to support that process of training. So everyone understands what's expected of them and what the benchmarks are and what their accountabilities are. Not responsibilities. People wrangle out of responsibilities. You keep them accountable to KPIs, and then you have a way to guide them, give them feedback, but also to remind them what the expectations are if they want to stay with you on this journey. Because if they don't, then they don't deserve to be on the journey with you, right? Okay. So how do you feel about your business right now? Does it fill you with joy or does it fill you with a bit of dread? If it's on the dread side, then there's something wrong with strategy. You need to look at your model. This is what I do. I'm a business strategist. I can see things and patterns and things in the model that are wrong, and I can see things that you can add in really simply. I'm great at doing that. I love doing that. It's easy for me to do that. And I'm a good sounding board as well, as a lot of my students will tell you who are in the boot camp right now. Okay, so when you think about stepping away from the business, do you feel excited or do you feel terrified? If you stepped away, would it all fall over? Or would it tick along nicely without you in it, without you there? Okay. Do you have the plan in place to grow your business without you? At least is there a plan? If there's not, you need to get one. Have you built an asset you can sell one day? You cannot sell a business. And businesses can sell for a lot of money. Alex Hormozy sold his first chain of fitness fitness places. I can't think of the name now. Gyms. Okay. He sold his first lot of gyms. He made a chain of gyms, right? He sold it for $46 million. That's not bad, is it? But he's not in them anymore because he had everything, all the systems and everything in place that it could run without him. Okay. And he keeps investing in other businesses and growing them and making them better, right? And I do that too. I just don't talk about it much, right? And take a piece of equity to do that. And he does that all the time now. That's all he focuses on. But his first business, that's what he got. That's what it sold for. It took him a while to work it out. All right, it did. He'll be the first one to say he made a lot of mistakes. We all do. But learn from those who've made those mistakes so that you don't make them too. And if I'm not the coach for you, that's fine, but find someone who is. We all need to have someone who can keep us accountable, external to our business. Okay. Do you have a plan in place so that you've got the asset to sell one day? Is it sellable? It's not sellable unless you don't have to be in it. So if you built this business that you could actually walk away from and you could actually sell, how would it feel like to wake up every day knowing that if you got sick of it tomorrow, you could just put it on the market to sell it and it would be better than any superannuation fund you could ever have? Who can wake up like that? Would you like to wake up like that? If your business doubled tomorrow, if your revenue doubled tomorrow, your sales doubled tomorrow, can you handle it with the current systems and teams that you have, or would it collapse? Because that's an indication that your strategy is not right too. You probably can't see some things that you need to have in your business. So remember, I always talk about there's 4 lenses in business. There's strategy, there's communication, there's implementation, and there's systems and processes, right? And all of us come from one view, one dominant view, perspective of business. So we are often blind in 3 areas. We can't see what we can't see. We don't know what we don't know. Okay. And I put the glasses on so that you can see the 4 areas and you'll never look at business the same way again. Once you work with me, it's game over. You can see businesses for exactly what they are and you know exactly how to run them. And you understand, you can diagnose the symptoms of your business and know what to do, what to prescribe to fill in those gaps and make it better. Whether it's better revenue or better profit, you'll be able to see it. And you probably can't see it now. Okay? So here's some micro action plans, action steps that you can do to help this. You can audit your calendar. Have a look at your calendar. What are the tasks that you're working on constantly? And could someone else do it for you? It doesn't mean you're going to make them, do it today. But can you plan to let that go? Can you put a plan in place? Can you put a revenue goal in place? When the business earns this much money, I'm going to reinvest this much into having someone help me. Okay. Capture or audit your current processes or capture, because a lot of people don't even write down their processes. That's often a problem because you've got no operational manual. How can you train people? How can you grow if you don't have that in place? So have a look at the processes you do have in place. Make sure they're working and make sure they're documented. Okay. Identify your natural talents and strengths. You can use our free profiling tool to do that anytime. and align your tasks accordingly, because that will tell you exactly where you need to outsource and how quickly, because the lowest percentages that you have, the lowest percentages of business that you can see, right, that's in your vision, they're the ones you should outsource first. Okay. And choose one repeatable offer that you could build systems around for automation. Automate, automate, automate. That's the secret. Okay. Freedom doesn't come from more time. Freedom comes from maximized strategies. Okay, if you're ready to move from hustle and designer business that doesn't rely on you to exist, let's have a conversation. All right. So I encourage you to comment strategy in the comments below, and myself or one of my team will make sure you get a Calendly link to come and have a session with me. And let's see if I can help you. And I will tell you if I can't. Okay, I will. I'm doing this for the love of it. Not doing it for the money. So have a conversation with me. Let's see if we can work together and sort it out for you. I love doing that. Okay. So I encourage you to do that. It would be great. And I would love to work with some more people. Okay. All right. Fantastic, everyone. Have a great week. Please interact with the comments that are going around in the group. You know, I really would love you to encourage you to start some conversations. If I put a post there to promote your business, promote it, because there are people inside that might want to work with you. And I'm okay with that. But if they don't know you're there, they don't know you're there. Okay? So please engage. It's important that you engage, because then we can help each other. Okay. Have a great one, and I'll see you this time next week for Taking Care of Business.